They are all going. Although putting them down might be another help. And that intro was whose idea? Hi guys, it's Leanne. So a few weeks ago I posted a video entitled A Slightly Bitchy Unhaul. And I was kind of worried because, you know, unhauls can be received in many different ways on Booktube, which is essentially a world of bibliophile collectors. Am I right? I'm right, I mean. But it turns out I shouldn't have been worried at all because y'all loved it. In fact, it's one of the most viewed videos on my channel in recent months. And so I thought you would probably like a follow-up to that. Because as you saw from the very awkward introduction, I'm getting rid of quite a lot of books. And if my last video was a thriller out, this one is kind of a fantasy and literary fiction out. I'm just gonna get this one right out of the way at the beginning because I think it is the one that I have the most to say about, and it's definitely going to be the one that I'm gonna get all the thumbs down for. I am getting rid of this set here, which is Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn set, including the follow-up, Alloy of Law, and the start of his other series, The Way of Kings Part 1 and Part 2, and the second book in it, Words of Radiance Part 1 and Part 2, and his earlier novels, Warbreaker and Elantris, and his newest short story collection, Arcanum Unbounded. Hashtag opinions. I tried, guys. I have really 100% wholeheartedly tried to get into Brandon Sanderson, and I can't do it. I started out originally with just the Mistborn box set and the first two books in The Way of Kings, which is technically the first book split into two releases in the UK, and I really tried. But here's the honest to goodness truth. I find his writing incredibly basic. It's not nuanced, it's not layered, it is punch you in the face, write everything down for you, tell you everything writing. There are info dumps, there are really dodgily handled just backstory bleh, about characters which could have easily been folded in later on in the story and explained through context. I find the entire magic system in Mistborn to be incredibly precarious. I don't know, when it gets into the like 5400th different thing that you can do with this one particular vial of little bits of metal that you drink, I don't know, I'm not there for it. I'm not there for it at all. So I picked up Elantris and Warbreaker, and no. And guys, I know you all are familiar with the entire argument between separating art from the artist and not necessarily associating the artist's politics with the art that they produce, but yeah, that doesn't work for me. If I have done research on somebody and I discover that they are intensely homophobic, which Brandon Sanderson very much is, intensely homophobic, I am not going to be supporting that person anymore with my coinage or my time or space on my bookshelves. That noise that you just heard there in the background was Helen screaming, "Are you okay?" when I threw like 500 books on the floor. Later when I explain that they're Brandon Sanderson, she will understand. I mentioned this on my Instagram not that long ago, which, by the way, is where I am the most active when I'm not on Booktube. And a lot of you guys were really torn about this point. So, this here is my originals of the first two series in the Realm of the Elderlings by Robin Hobb. These covers are absolutely stunning, and I have had these books for many years. John Howe's illustrations on these books are how I see some of the characters in the landscapes. My favourite is this one, but all of them are intensely beautiful. The thing is, this shelf here that I'm pointing to rather poorly with my lip liner is all of the new editions of the Robin Hobb books. And they're so beautiful, but they take up an entire shelf all to themselves. And so do these. At the moment in my house, I've kind of reached capacity on most of my shelves. So as I read things that are brand new to me, I either love them and keep them, or I cycle them out of my collection. And as you guys can see, I do a lot of cycling things out of my collection. I have done it far more in recent years, where I've finally got comfortable with the idea of unhauling, letting books go, DNFing books, just not giving my time to things that don't 100% make me happy or, thanks Marie Kondo, spark joy. Which is why these are a bit weird, because they do spark joy. I love them so desperately much, but I do not need 2 sets of these books. I'm never going to read from these editions again because they are mass market paperback size and the new ones are not. Oh, they smell like my last house. Bye books, I love you very much. That's everything from my fantasy out, and now we move on to other parts of my shelves. I have one book here which is not a literary fiction book that I'm just going to get out of the way, and bless my mother, it is one of those books that you get and you're like, oh, the thought was lovely, the thought was amazing, but you do not know me at all. That's kind of a lie, because what she got me for my birthday was Body Double by Tess Gerritsen. Rizzoli and Isles, the TV show, is something that me and my mother now have in common. It's something that she absolutely loves. It's absolutely nothing like the book series of Rizzoli and Isles. But when she spotted this one and discovered that it was a Rizzoli and Isles book, she thought, oh, I'll get her that, obviously. And I already own this, of course. Tell me in the comments how many times this has happened to you as a book lover. How many times your friends or relatives have gone, oh, she loves X, I'll get her X. And you open it and you're like, wow, thanks. I've been doing an awful lot of throwing books in this video. I promise that has probably stopped now. Probably. So the next book which I have read and did not really get on with that well and I'm going to get rid of is Alias Grace by Margaret Atwood. I read this at the beginning of the year with Kirsty from The Tea Is Also Cursed. I'm going to start a bingo card for how many times I pop Kirsty's face into my videos. There's been a lot this year. We read this as a buddy read and I really enjoyed the experience of buddy reading it, but I did not enjoy the experience of the book all that much. I really loved Grace's chapters. I really didn't love the Doctor's chapters that were inserted in amongst them. We came up with some very, very creative names for him. So I will be trying Margaret Atwood again. It'll be my third try at Margaret Atwood because I read Cat's Eye years ago and I really didn't enjoy that either. My next try will be the Penelope ad, which is a recommendation from Jean at Jean's Bookish Thoughts, and she was very enthusiastic when she shoved it into my hand. So I am hopeful that me and Margaret will find a common ground somewhere because I love her writing, I just haven't loved any of her stories yet. The next one is one that I'm kind of on the fence about, and I'm hoping that more of you guys have read this now that it's been out for so long, and that is this one, A Death in the Family by, I think is it Carol Ove Nosgard. And I don't know, this one is a fictional memoir, which isn't really that fictional because it is a little bit about his life. A very confused kind of memoir about Carol's life. I think this one was actually a recommendation from Vanessa Jaboski. I have picked it up a couple of times and I'm not sure about the tone, and there's a lot of rock music and music lore content in here which are just things that I'm not really interested in, like, at all, and so I don't know, I don't think it's for me. But if any more of you guys have read it and think that I should not get rid of it, I'll maybe give it another try, but at the moment it's kind of a hard pass. The next one that I'm getting rid of is this absolutely stunning copy of Larchfield by Polly Clark. It's just not a story that I'm interested in. It is about a newly pregnant young woman who has moved to Helensburgh in Scotland and is attempting to sort of refashion her life into something that she wants it to be. And I just feel like I've read that story an awful lot recently, and I'm not particularly in the mood for things that dwell heavily on pregnancy and new motherhood, so this one is going. And I've got another one here that I am also kind of on the fence about. You guys will know why as soon as I show you it, and it is My Brilliant Friend by Eleanor Ferrante, and I am on the side of the people who think that these covers are the ugliest things they've ever seen, just in case you're wondering where I fall on that debate. This was of course massively hyped up on Booktube, massively hyped up everywhere for a very long time when these books were first released, and I picked this one up from a charity shop. It's a used copy, and I thought, okay, I'm not going to pay full price for it because I don't know if it's something that I'm going to be particularly interested in. It seems to be a sort of subset of literary fiction wherein the characters are not necessarily intended to be likeable, which is something that I can sometimes be really in the mood for, but other times really not. And this is also set in Italy, which is not my favourite setting for international literary fiction. So I think all of the odds are kind of leaning against this one. Also, I believe it's set in the 50s, which is again not my time period that I'm particularly interested in. So everything is leaning towards me not liking these books. Now, I know a lot of people on Booktube are one way or the other on these. They either really love them or they really hate them, and in the way that when they really hate them they just find them boring, and I just don't think I want to invest any more headspace into thinking about reading this novel which might be boring. And I know that we've all done that, right? We've all at one time or another bought a book where we've thought, everybody loves this, maybe I will, even though all the odds are against you ever liking it or picking it up. You don't have to like everything. There's a lot of books in here that I purchased because I saw them on Booktube and I thought, I could like that maybe one day. And there's a lot of books on here where I persevered, Brandon Sanderson, with authors past the point where I realised that I didn't enjoy them, and it's okay. It's okay not to enjoy what everybody else enjoys. It's okay not to want to own the same books as everybody else. And it is most definitely okay to get rid of those books and to tell people why you're getting rid of them. And for those of you asking, I had a wonderful holiday. Thank you so much. Here are some pictures. As you can see, we had beautiful sunshine, wonderful sunshine. We also both got the flu. So as always, if you have read any of these books and disagree with me, then please tell me in the comments, because your girl also likes opinions. And if you've read any of these books and are gleeful to see that I am getting rid of them, also please tell me that in the comments, because you know I like to hear that. And I will speak to you all soon.